Yo book nerds, it's October, which is usually spooky season for us readers. But in case you're not into horror or thrillers, you might want to read something else. And October is also known as Victober. To celebrate Victober, you read Victorian literature in the month of October. Victorian literature is defined as English novels published while Queen Victoria reigned in 1837 to 1901. This is actually considered by a lot of people to be the golden age of English literature. And I have some book recommendations for you. I have not read a ton of Victorian literature. I want to read a lot more. I have so many classics on my TBR for this era. So I'm going to give you 3 recommendations for Victober. My first recommendation is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This book was first published in London in 1847. I loved this book. I read it back in junior high. I think this is also a good fit for spooky season because the story itself is so dark. It's often thought of as a love story, but it's really not. There is a romance, but it's really about this relationship that is abusive and turbulent, and it gets really dark. But it is a very, very good read. My next recommendation is going to be Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I just recently read this. It was adorable. So much fun. This is just so lighthearted. If you need something to just fly through, something that's not serious, this is a great option. There's actually 2 books. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland was first published in Oxford in 1865. And Through the Looking Glass was published in London in 1872. These 2 stories are just really light. They're wacky. They are fun. I just think you should read this book because it is just awesome. The last book I'm going to recommend is going to be The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This one's kind of cheating a little bit because I said that this would be a recommendation if you didn't want horror or thrillers. And this is a thriller, but it is Victorian. It was first published in London in 1890. This book is about Dorian Gray, and he gets his picture painted and he sees how beautiful he is, and he makes a wish that the picture would age and that he wouldn't. And this story gets really dark and creepy, and I love this book. I've read it twice, and there are a lot of good film adaptations for it as well. So these are my recommendations for Victober. If you don't want to read any horror novels, there are plenty of other Victorian novels out there if you don't want to give these a go. And let me know what Victorian novels are your favorites. I'm always looking for more recommendations so I know what I should read next. I loved all 3 of these, and I can't wait to read more Victorian literature. Please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what I'm doing here. Thanks for talking books with me.